Yeah, that's what okay. I'm getting to Q&A. So I'm going to actually give you the first chance. Yes.
Hello, I'm Anneke. Let me start off by saying I'm not anti-transformation, not at all. I really want us to find a solution to this. And I've actually started my own firm where I'm readdressing the standard service of architectural services, because I do think it's something that needs work. I think there's a gap in the market for a different service than the one we are used to. So I'm really pro transformation. The main concern I have at this, so if we take all of that out of the conversation, convincing everyone that transformation is required, let's take that out of the presentation. Then I literally think we take 80% out of the conversation. I do think everyone that's here is pro transformation. So let's not discuss that. My biggest concern is, I think the way that recognition of prior learning is being implemented is a lazy attempt. I think the universities can be reapproached to. Sorry, I would really like your comment on that. I'm quite involved with the University of Pretoria, and I don't see it as a closed door to approach the universities to acknowledge prior learning. But the problem is SACAP actually accredits these universities, and now they blame the universities they've been accrediting all this time. It really puts me in a difficult situation. I was at one of these universities which was accredited by SACAP, which gives me all my street cred, but now SACAP turns around and say, oh no, but that accreditation is not good enough. The universities are not doing what we've asked them. So they haven't, these bad universities, they haven't been implementing all these flippin' by acts you've been referring to and all of that. I feel it's SACAP's responsibility to enforce that then at the universities, and up until bully them to actually do that. Sorry, that's just my one point. The other one is, I truly feel that this process pisses on the 6 years I spent at university. And as a young woman in the building industry, where I have my conflicts as well, it's embarrassing for me to think that I had to go to university and complete a master's degree, and now someone can just do it in 2 months. It hurts, really, that one exam, one panel, one standard procedure that someone just thought of, now that person has the same accreditation I have. I think it hurts. That's the short and the long.
I'm going to give this, I got a lot of comments to make, but I'm actually going to give this to Rowan and Anesh. Oh.
Just quickly to answer your questions, SACAP validates the courses of the universities. Okay, you understand it. So you get, there's 2 courses, for instance, at UJ, and each one has got its own professor in charge. So SACAP accredits that every 4 years. Okay, RPL is a policy from government that each sector of the industry needs to implement. It's been written like that, and it addresses the past imbalances. And what SACAP, our president, Shane Lacken, is not here today. He's actually now Dr. Lacken, and he did his doctorate on different ways of education, basically. It is that the process of assessment will be rigorous. It's to be equivalent to those of a university graduate. It's not going to be, I'm giving you a certificate because you applied for it, and because you're black, and because you're white, and all this kind of nonsense. It's going to be rigorous. And the process is that if you address the past, why do we have a draftsman? Why do we have an architectural technologist? Why do we have a senior architectural technologist? Why don't we just all have architects if you address the past properly? People couldn't afford to go to universities because they were poor, but people acquired skills through experience by working in offices. So if you assess that person's skills, whomsoever is here today, against yours in a fair process, We will see who's the most experienced and who lack what, and on that basis of that assessment, I can say, or the panel can say, a panel of experts can say, but that person is equally qualified as that person who went to university. That's what it's about. It's not handing it out. It's not going to be like that. That I can reassure you. And it's not a qualification, it's a designation to practice fairly in the environment. That's what it's about.
I think if that process could be communicated more effectively, then it could be acceptable more. You know, and it seems like, oh, it's fine, my sister can apply because.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. Okay, just a sec. I've only got 14 minutes more here, and then we're done. I know there's a lot more questions, so I'm going to.
Firstly, on behalf of Black South Africa, your explanation and your reasons is unacceptable, and it is tragic that you put your privileged knowledge before those who were historically disadvantaged. It is a disgrace. This document here proves that the universities were in collusion to undermine government RPL policy. When the National Department of Public Works, listen to me, when the National Department of Public Works produced the RPL policy, 4 universities together with an education committee got together to undermine government's objectives in transformation, and I will not accept that. I will never accept that. The university must come forward to answer for the sins of the past.
Okay, thank you, Dinesh. And yes, there is. It is quite hectic. What I'm going to do, and yes, there's many hands up. I'm not going to even speak. I'm going to firstly give the other VAs one question each, if you have. Ray, do you have? Okay. All right, then I'll give it to you.
I think I don't really answer you because I think it's going to get personal. I think there's a big conversation about this country, about white privilege and all that kind of thing. I think you need to find out about it. For us, as architect, mostly black architecture professionals, I never qualified as an architect. I got excluded from university. I was kicked out of university. I studied architecture in a camp in Botswana, in exile. I had to come back. I was forced to become a registered architect. I actually didn't want to become an architect. I had a professor emeritus from the University of California, Berkeley, and a professor from the University of Witwatersrand. I wasn't even doing architecture work, and my registration was given as a professional architectural technologist. Now, I suspect there's a lot of people around like me, but that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm really trying to make is that we are having all these conversations, as you use the word, in silos. I think we need to look at the NDP. The NDP is related to the radical transformation. I don't use the word like everybody else uses it. The radical transformation of our economy. And the built environment is a crucial part and element of it. We've got, I think our energies as architectural professionals, including built environment practitioners, is to make, not only to get more architects, black architects to become architects, because that will not solve the fundamental problems in the built environment, which is the collusion between the construction companies, the national building regulations which we inherited to the colonial times to the British. Those are the kind of conversations we should have, because those are the kind of environments with black professional architects working, and those are kind of issues we should be talking about rather than talking about transformation. And I do congratulate you in creating opportunity for people like me to move up to the value chain. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, it's just time. And yes, that's a very important conversation. And Saib is highly involved with that at DPW. I want to make one comment before the next question. You'll go next. DPW, the biggest client in the country, will not give me work. Yet I have 30 years experience. A guy who's got no experience, 6 months maybe doing in-service training, is to get the work. I've got 30 years experience behind me. I know how to do the job. Stephen, you next. We go here.
I'm Solomon Opale. I'm so disappointed in SACAP. I got my higher national diploma in architecture since 1992, and I applied to SACAP. Unfortunately, SACAP said I should go to SACWA. SACWA gave me equivalent of BTech in architecture. So I submitted everything. Unfortunately, SACAP had to tell me that I'm a draftsman. Somebody that read architecture, graduated in 1992. I'm having more than 24 years experience in architecture. I was forced to go to read Masters in Construction Management, which I am today as a professional construction project manager. The institute that really value my experience. It's so unfortunate that SACAP is, how would I put it, don't want black architects to be their member. By telling me somebody that has equivalent of BTech as a draftsman. Well, I've been exercising my professionalism under a professional architect who knows my worth. And I've been submitting to council for approval. This professional architect signed for me and he knows my capability. I don't know how SACAP is going to correct that. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, he wants to.
You. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna because of time factors. Please give your number to and name, contact details, and to Nita. Nita, speak to Nita after. I'm gonna. Stephen, you don't mind?
I'll make it a quick one. Okay, Mataban Matsela here. I'm a graduate of architecture from UJ, graduated 2011, and I found myself working in an environment where I'm working for an NGO dealing with social housing, PHP housing, and informal settlement upgrading. But in the process, I find myself having not been able to register because within the sector where I'm working, I do not have a mentor as per the requirements of SACAP. And I'm finding a certain dynamic of change in architecture and the approach used. Because as a student, one of the things that we were doing in our final year, we were working with informal settlements around informal settlement upgrading, which is not necessarily a territory architects have delved in largely. So much that it's not something that's captured or covered within the requirements of SACAP. So the question is, when is that sort of broadening of the horizon or scope of architecture going to change to accommodate people like me who did not go the typical route of architecture to be able to register and have a number at some point? Okay, so much that I've changed to construction management as well. I'm doing my master's in that.
Okay, guys, I think there are a lot more questions. We've got 8 minutes. I want to spend